Huh? Guys, now we have entered into the depth of this chapter. But you don't worry because I will tell you all the solutions, but not in exam. So, is there anything left, or shall we start the chapter? Yes, I have forgot to beat Rohit today. So let's beat him and start the concept. What? No. Okay, finally we got him. Yes. Okay, now let's start our chapter.
Roll champions!
Okay guys, welcome to our channel Study with Relax.
अरे भाई वीडियो स्टार्ट हो गया।
Your turn. Okay guys, so now do about climatic controls. So what are the things that are controlling the climate? So we are going to learn about them. There are basically 6 major things. What are they? Latitude, altitude, relief, distance from sea and ocean currents, and pressure and wind systems. So now we are going to learn them in more detailed way. So first of all, what is latitude? So if we take Earth is not in a proper circle. There are many curves in the Earth which makes the solar energy falling on the Earth variations. So basically the solar energy which are falling on the Earth is not proper. So there are many imaginary lines that can be seen in the Earth from top to bottom. And you can see at the top and bottom the sun rays doesn't fall. The very less sun rays fall. By this, you can understand that the imaginary lines that are in the altitude determines the falling of the temperature. That means the upper or lower altitude, the sun rays are less. Whereas in the middle altitude, that is equator, the sun rays are more. Whereas Tropic of Cancer, Tropic of Capricorn, the sun rays are medium. By this, you can understand that the latitude determines the climatic control. And the next one is altitude. So you drew many imaginary lines on surface of Earth, on Earth, and if you take imaginary lines from surface to atmosphere, those lines are called as altitude. So as high will go to altitude, as the temperature decreases, and as the high will go to altitude, the atmospheric dense decreases. So if it go down, the temperature is moderate. If it go up, the temperature decreases. Suppose if you go to Himalayas, you can see that there is very less temperature and the air is very less dense. And due to which many members wear oxygen cylinders while climbing Everest. Whereas it is not needed while we walk around. And next one, if you go pressure and winds, what is that? So what is that pressure and winds? So they are basically dependent on these latitudes and altitudes, due to which it determines the rainfall and temperature. So as you know that latitude and altitude always determine the temperature, that about higher altitude, lower temperature, and then up and below latitudes, very less temperature. By this it determines in the same way the pressure and winds links between this altitude and latitude and determines the rainfall and temperature. Continue. Okay, now we are going to learn about distance from sea. For example, let's take this as sea. So if I am here, the climate is moderate, like not so cool and not so hot. But when we like this much far will go, the distance increases and the climate becomes extreme. That means it becomes more cool or more hot. Next, we are going to learn about oceanic currents. For example, let's take a coastal area. Coastal area means the areas which are lying near to ocean or sea. So this is a coastal area, and above it warm or cold currents are moving. If warm current is moving, the climate, the place becomes warm. If cold currents are moving, the place becomes cool. This is oceanic currents. Next, we are going to talk about relief. Relief also affects the climate. For example, let's take mountains. from the north, very hot or cold winds are coming. But because of the mountains, it acts as a barrier and it stops them. That's why our country, India, is not so cool or not so hot. But if there is no mountain, then the cold or hot winds would come to India and our country would be frozen like other countries. So now we are going to learn the another part of climate chapter. That is nothing but the factors affecting Indian climate. So Loik, what's the first factor? First factor, I don't know. Take. So the first factor is nothing but latitude. So latitude are nothing but the imaginary lines that are passing through the earth. For example, let's take Loik as India. So these are latitude, latitude, latitude. Like this, many latitudes passes through the earth. So there are mostly three important latitudes. Those are nothing but the equator, Tropic of Cancer, and Tropic of Capricorn. Do you know which latitude passes through India? Any guesses? Yeah, you are correct. It is Tropic of Cancer that divides India exactly into two: the southern part and the northern part.
This is the latest India map designed by Rolak. Link in the description.
So, the Tropic of Cancer divides India, that is Lloyd, into southern and northern parts. That is two equal parts. So, the southern part is usually hot and the northern part is usually cool. Why? Do you know the reason? Because this is the tropical region and this is subtropical region. Tropical region usually means the climate is very hot, like not totally hot, hot, and it has very high pressure. High pressure means it has low pressure. So low pressure and hot climate, whereas subtropical. You all know that Kashmir, these all regions are very cool. Why? Because they are subtropical. Subtropical means high pressure. High pressure means cool climate. So this is the Tropic of Cancer, and in the west that is Ran of Gulf. So the Tropic of Cancer, the westernmost part the Tropic of Cancer cuts is Ran of Kutch, and the easternmost part the Tropic of Cancer cuts is Myanmar. So there are mostly 8 important states that are passing through Tropic of Cancer. So what are they? They are Gujarat, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan, Mizoram, Tripura, and West Bengal. Thank you, Louis.